The equipment and destination of the squadron fitted out in the year 1740, of which Commodore Ansons had the command, being sufficiently known from the ample and well-penned relation of it under his direction, I shall recite no particulars that are to be found in that work. But it may be necessary, for the better understanding the disastrous fate of the Wager, the subject of the following sheets, to repeat the remark that a strange infatuation seemed to prevail in the whole conduct of this embarkation. For though it was unaccountably detained till the season for its sailing was past, no proper use was made of that time which should have been employed in providing a suitable force of sailors and soldiery, nor was there a due attention given to other requisites for so peculiar and extensive a destination. This neglect not only rendered the expedition abortive in its principal object, but most materially affected the condition of each particular ship, and none so fatally as the Wager, which, being an old Indiaman brought into the service on this occasion, was now fitted out as a man-of-war, but being made to serve as a store-ship, was deeply laden with all kinds of careening gear, military and other stores, for the use of the other ships, and, what is more, crowded with bale goods and encumbered with merchandise. A ship of this quality and condition could not be expected to work with that readiness and ease which was necessary for her security and preservation in those heavy seas with which she was to encounter. Her crew consisted of men pressed from long voyages to be sent upon a distant and hazardous service. On the other hand, all her land forces were no more than a poor detachment of infirm and decrepit invalids from Chelsea Hospital, desponding under the apprehensions of a long voyage. It is not then to be wondered that Captain Kidd, under whose command the ship sailed out of the port, should in his last moments presage her ill success, though nothing very material happened during his command. At his death he was succeeded by Captain Cheap, who, still without any accident, kept company with the squadron till we had almost gained the southernmost mouth of Straits Le Maire, when, being the sternmost ship, we were, by the sudden shifting of the wind to the southward and the turn of the tide, very near being wrecked upon the rocks of Staten Land, which, notwithstanding, having weathered, contrary to the expectation of the rest of the squadron, we endeavoured all in our power to make up our lost way and regain our station. This we effected, and proceeded on our voyage, keeping company with the rest of the ships for some time, when, by a great roll of a hollow sea, we carried away our mizzenmast, all the chain plates to windward being broken. Soon after, hard gales at west coming on with a prodigious swell, there broke a heavy sea in upon the ship, which stove our boats and filled us for some time. These accidents were the more disheartening as our carpenter was on board the Gloucester, and detained there by the incessant tempestuous weather and sea impracticable for boats. In a few days he returned, and supplied the loss of the mizzenmast by a lower studding-sail boom, but this expedient, together with the patching up of our rigging, was a poor temporary relief to us. We were soon obliged to cut away our best bower anchor to ease the foremast, the shrouds and chain-plates of which were all broken, and the ship in all parts in a most crazy condition.